Punk Revolution now! Today we're going to be reviewing Garfo's newest album, Começar. That is Portuguese. Portuguese for to start well. Garfo is actually Portuguese too. It's Portuguese for fork. So you know we have a freaking epic random musician at our freaking review here. Anyways, so Garfo, Brazilian musician from Salvador, Brazil. I'm actually Brazilian. I even have my Brazilian shirt on of Rio de Janeiro. Like I said, Garfo's not from Rio. He's from Salvador. But anyways, we're both Brazilian, so that gets me excited to review this album. It's like some pretty cool lo-fi indie Brazilian folk music. That sounds pretty epic. Let's take a look at the fucking album cover. Well, this album cover to me looks like someone walking through an amusement park, which would make sense because the opening sample of this album is a freaking roller coaster going by crazy. Whatever. Okay, enough. All right, who cares? Everyone wants to watch the video to hear about the music. Why do I even talk about the album cover? Well, let's talk about the music. What is this? Brazilian lo-fi indie folk. Wow, pretty captivating. So what really drew me to come back and re-listen to this album over and over again was just the really intimate, really personal atmosphere. Lo-fi project done mostly by only one person, probably in their bedroom. I reached out to him, I said, dude, this sounds great. How did you record this stuff? And he told me he recorded it all with his freaking laptop microphone, which blew my fucking mind because I have like a homemade studio with like, you know, a little bit of equipment I've bought off online and all that shoot. And everything I record tends to sound like junk, but he's making this like absolutely gorgeous, beautiful atmosphere. It feels so intimate, feels so earnest, just feels like a young man, super creatively inspired, doesn't have very many resources, just has a fucking laptop microphone, and he's just pouring his heart out in his music, making gorgeous music. This is a beautiful album. It's gonna inspire you. If you're a lo-fi musician with not very many, you know, not much equipment, this should inspire you to get off your ass because you can make a fucking great album even with your limited resources. It might be a little intimidating how good some of these songs are, given it's just, you know, acoustic guitars layered on top of each other, some percussion, and just fucking laptop microphone. It's beautiful. Like I said, primarily, number one thing I would describe this album as is beautiful, okay? Kind of reminds me a bit of the Microphones a bit. Just beautiful, emotional, lo-fi indie folk with a really interesting instrumental arrangements. But just throughout this album, like, you can just tell, like, even though I'm not fluent in Portuguese, I don't know all the lyrics, you can just tell Garfo, it feels like there's a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of tension. Sometimes his vocals are like kind of more like yelling rather than singing. So it's got this contrasting, beautiful atmosphere, beautiful instrumentation, just beautiful compositions with the more angsty, anxiety-filled Garfo singing. So it just feels like a very emotional, very honest work of art. I love it. It's great. I love how intimate this sweet little album is. It's short, easy, awesome, cool. Beautiful stuff going on. Reminds me a little bit of Animal Collective actually too, just like mild psychedelic elements going through. Just Garfo just being real free, like a freak folk. Freak folk is the name of that genre. Pretty cool stuff. I'd say like there are some moments where Garfo's vocals are pretty off pitch. His vocals sound a little tense, a little bit, you know, like I feel like he just needs to like maybe warm up a little bit before he takes these vocal takes, or just needs to practice singing a little bit more so he can stay on pitch. I think that's gonna turn a lot of people off because, like, you know, especially the first track is where I noticed a lot of the pitchiness. And you know, if you listen to an album by a lo-fi artist you never heard of, and the first track you hear some pitchiness that's distracting you, you might want to not even listen to the whole thing. But if you actually really just, you know, just listen, you'll hear there's plenty of moments where his vocals sound great. I think it's just something he just needs to practice a little bit more. But honestly, like, I see a fantastic future for this artist. Cannot wait to see what he does next. Fingers crossed that in the future, you know, he can maybe a record label will give him access to a full studio, because this is clearly a very creative mind. Really exciting stuff. Giving this a 7.4 out of 10. Come on. It's lo-fi, Brazilian, indie folk, intimate, personal, emotional album. What more could you fucking ask for? 7.4 out of 10. Cannot wait to see what comes next. Punk Revolution now! If you like my video, go ahead and like and comment and subscribe. If you like my mustache, make sure you leave a comment saying thank you. Punk Revolution now!